We're going to put that. Here we go. I'll just slide that over and this over. We'll get this set up so that you can see the screen. Should probably just have you see, you'll see me, but I'll make it so everybody can see what is going on. There we go. Make it so everybody could see the whole screen kind of close. Well, if I do the screen, I'm not gonna, if I do this, yeah, I'm pretty sure my mouth matches up with I don't know. I'll do it so that it's both. We'll get that in there like that. We're set. 30, whatever that is, 1-1. All right. Hey, Tater Dom, good to see you. Way to bump it. I'm going to move over, slide over like I'm supposed to. This way you guys will be able to see the share screen, even though no one's on tonight. Good to see everybody. Randy, call me on YouTube. All right. Do you want me to? Nah, I'm good, Randy, for tonight. I got it all set up. I was ready both ways. All right. So I could send you, we'll work out the invite coming up, but as now being live, welcome everybody on YouTube. I'm going to check the YouTube. It's good to have everybody on Facebook and YouTube. Love to have everybody. Tonight, we're going to be doing What's on the Shelf and also on Sweetens Cove. And right now, I have to check to make sure is the mic working there? Yep, that's good. Now I should probably move over. All right, one more time. All right, that's working. I got that working. Okay, turn it down. You could see me there, but you want to be able to kind of see me in both. So let's just see if I move it over just a little bit more that way. And then I'll get over a little more. All right. I could see. I did see the magnetic coin on top of the Sweetens Cove right there. When I opened it, I felt it, and it's like, there goes the magnetic coin. Fell on the floor. Now I got to get it. Yeah, that's cool. We'll talk about that when we get it. Okay, Randy? We can talk about it. Hopefully, that puts me a little bit into, you can see me right there. There's Sweetens Cove. I should be there. All right. I'm going to do the comments like I always do right here. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's podcast. Please check in, say where you're from, let us know what you're sipping on, and enjoy. All right, there's my comment. I'll put this right here so I can monitor the comment. Tater Dom, it's good to have you on. We're doing Sweetens Cove, and we're going to get going in a couple seconds. There I am. Good to see. And good to see you all on Facebook tonight and on YouTube. We're ready to go. At this point, we're doing Sweetens Cove 22, combination between Marianne Eaves and co-owner Peyton Manning. I've got it poured right here in my Glen, pre-opened. It's delicious nose. I've tried. I've tried this before, the regular Sweetens Cove, but not the Sweetens Cove 22. And so really cool to have that and do this tonight for the first time. Thanks to Randy Ford sending us the bottle. He was able to get it to us at a really good price. And thanks so much, Randy. And let's just go real quick with our sponsors. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube, we're sponsored by some damn good distilleries and people. The way that we work our sponsors here are we don't have sponsors approach us and ask us and stuff like that. When something's really good and we like it, we ask if they want to sponsor us. So, our newest sponsor, Middle West, right here, Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. They have just expanded to become one of the top 10 distilleries in the United States. Ryan Lang, the owner down there, is doing a fantastic job. He started out with a pot still, led into a column still that he's been doing since 2012. And what he's got here on the shelf right now are these cast strengths, and they're 6 and 7 years old, and they are delicious. You need to check it out. He's in 48 states. What they're doing at Middle West Spirits, you're going to hear a lot more. That distillery, we were down there. It'll be 2 weeks on Saturday, and it's just phenomenal. So Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. You got to check them out. And then also our other main sponsor, is Whiskey Thief Distilling Company. No matter where you go, either location, it's a barrel pick all day, every day. Walter Zausch, owner there, and then all the great people, Derek and Kelly, their distillery team, and then also you've got Hannah and just everybody else. The team there is fantastic. You walk in, price of admission, you basically could taste 5 barrels. And from those 5, if you like one extremely well, you can pick it, bottle it yourself with the Whiskey Thief, and walk out of there very happy. They do amazing things. They also just opened their Louisville New Lulu Nulu location, their Louisville Nulu location. Same thing, but it's a bar setting and tasting room along with a barrel pick all day, every day. Whiskey Thief Distilling Company. Go out, live your life uncut and unfiltered. Then also the Spirit of French Lick. We've got here the Spirit of French Lick. This William Dalton. It's our barrel pick. You need, if you want to, and you need some Spirit of French Lick, we can set you up, taste it. We're all there. Just contact me and I'll show you how to hook you up. But the people at the Spirit of French Lick, Alan Bishop had been there. He left this past April, but his whiskey's still there. His pot stilled, respect the grain, bourbons, ryes, and other special expressions, brandy, apple brandy. He's got so many different brands. You gotta check it out when you're down there. It's in the Spirit of French Lick Distillery and Winery. Make sure you get down there. And then also, we were just talking about Alan Bishop. He has his One Piece at a Time, and If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything podcast. The One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute is on YouTube. Check it out. If you're into home distilling, that's your jam. And then also the One Piece at a Time, or the If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything podcast. It's an amazing podcast. It combines the best of both worlds, the best of the spirits of the underworld and heavenly angels with the spirits industry and how the stories affect each other. Really kind of cool podcast. Alan Bishop does a great thing. And coming up this Thursday, he will be joining us on the podcast. Can't wait for that. And the last of our is our Old Louisville Whiskey Company barrel banging. That was for you, Stacy. Segment. Tonight, it's going to be Sweetens Cove 22. And we are going to do that. And Old Louisville Whiskey Company in Louisville, you got to go check it out. Amin, he does, you see him, tell him the Scotchy Bourbon Boys sent you. But when you go in there, you're going to have an experience like none other. You can pick up a bottle or you can go in the back. He gives you a tour. He's like a mad scientist doing chemistry back there with bourbon. I mean, he's got stuff aging in different barrels. He's got stuff aging for 14, 17, 18 years. I mean, all of it, sample it, and then you can bottle it. So you got to check out Old Louisville Whiskey Company. And those are our sponsors. We are covering this hard and heavy this month because this is our sponsor month. Great to have them all on board. So there you go. Todd, good to see you. Watching from Youngstown, he's sipping on the William Dalton. And then yep, it's good to see you there on YouTube. Thank you. Feel free. I love that Dalton that he's sipping on, coming from the Spirit of French Lick. All right, so everybody, this is the way this is going to work. As always, we will have a 30 second where I play the the ad for the audio podcast, and then you're going to hear our theme song, and we are going to get running tonight. Here we go. Sipping on some scotch, we get a little wild and show fun to watch. We love what we do with drinking every blue room, and it's all sunshine, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, with the Scotchy Bourbon boys, raising hell, making some noise. Yeah, with the Scotchy Bourbon boys, we really have fun. Woo! Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. It is Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. I am Tiny here. Tonight, I'm going solo. You know, some nights I don't, some nights I do. We got a lot of news coming up. But first, one thing I forgot so it's going to happen because you just heard an ad for it on the audio, but I didn't remember. But it's like I just passed over Rosewood Bourbon and Rye. But the whiskey the bourbon that Andy Dufresne in the movie Shawshank Redemption in the 1920s was the deciding factor of getting him put in jail for the movie. He basically was sipping on that in his car, and they were able to get a fingerprint on his broken bottle that he was there that night, put him at the scene of the crime. But Jason Giles has brought back that brand. Cool. And you got to get a hold of Jason. You could do that on Facebook. And then also know that he purchases barrels, and he's also distilling at the Bardstown Bourbon Company right now. He lets them age in Kentucky and Indiana. He ships them down to Texas, and then he lets them sit at least one season in that Houston, Texas heat. Fantastic bourbons. So if you need to get a hold of it, look for him on Facebook and the social media. Contact him and he will get you hooked up. All right, guys. Um, Hopefully, I got a bunch of stuff happening here. I don't know what it is, but we'll just get it out. All right. We got someone who has Sweetens Cove in the Lillian Sinclair group. And so, yeah, drink along. That's the first one. That was the one that we'll get into that a little bit. But first, remember www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. And just make sure there's Glens, there's t-shirts. You can contact me for them or you can order them off the website. That's www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Remember, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, all those social media programs. Hopefully, TikTok soon, but Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. And I thought I said Twitter, but that I said X. And then also on all the major podcast formats, mainly Apple, iHeart, and Spotify. Everywhere else, though, wherever you listen or watch, just remember, like, listen, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. We appreciate that. And make sure you let us know where you're from because lately it's getting big. We've got some regulars coming in. It's been a lot. It's been fun. Actually, John Hoskins said he bottled his bourbon at Whiskey Thief today. Dream fulfilled. It's like that's awesome. So cheers to that, Joe. Nice to see you. And then everybody else, that's great bottle. Tonight we've got Sweetens Cove, 22. I'll get into a little bit of detail, read a little bit on it. I don't think, what's really crazy is I didn't have my glasses. And then when I don't have glasses, what happens is then it becomes very difficult. So I'll have to use some sort of light. We'll see if I can make that work because I was planning on reading the back of the label. All right, so here we go. Tonight, the main part of our podcast, though, is I wanted to talk to everybody. Every year we do one of these, and this is really kind of cool. I want to get a little bit closer. I'm a little bit too. I want to just get a little bit closer. I like to get a little closer to the bar because I'm so far away, but hopefully that works. Yes. So the one of the reason why I have myself tonight on YouTube, normally I would do the front facing thing, but tonight the share screen on the Facebook is going to be very important because what I did was I went and I've been noticing this and I've been wanting to do this podcast for a little bit, and it's what's on the shelf. And for the last 5 or 6 years, what's on the shelf, there's been some good ones, like Woodford Double Oak, and you'd see Rare Breed. And those were on the shelf, and there's certain ones that are on the shelf. But right now, walking in today at this time, stuff that was allocated and was on and what initially, it's all on the shelf. You don't have to wait till Saturday. Saturdays are good for getting some Buffalo Trace and that type of thing. But there's, how much Buffalo Trace do I need? I've got backup bottles of pretty much everything. I mean, I'm always going to try for a Pappy Van Winkle. Obviously, that's what you'd wait in line for or get in a lottery for. But when it comes to just walking in, walking right into that store and you want something phenomenal. And tonight I went in and I ran in and I knew I had to do it, so I ran over there. It's at my local liquor agency in the Giant Eagle, and the manager, who I know personally, he wasn't there. One of the workers I know was there, and I said, "I'm not here to buy. I'm just going to take pictures." And she let me just go through and take pictures for you guys. And when this goes through, I ended up because there's so much on there and something. I found a deal that I didn't know I was going to find. And that's something that's great, but there was so much. And I'm going to go through it and I'm going to share the screen and let's just go through what was on the shelf. I mean, tonight it's gonna be like you're at the liquor store there with me. So let's start off with the share screen, and we'll hit this right here and share. All right. So I'm at the liquor store. I ripped these off. The first one here is behind the counter. So you've got the special Remus bottle. Let's see if I know how to. I should be able to magnify. What would be? Oh, there it is. Wait, hold on. The special Remus bottle. Let's really get into this. That is the Repeal Reserve up there. Then you have next to it the 15-year-old. Let's just see. It's a $249 bottle. So let's just see what that is on the thing right there. I'm trying to see what it is. 15-year-old limited edition. I think that's a Remus too. And it's a 15-year-old at $249. Now, right next to that is your Heaven's Door Exploration. And you've got the Refuge, which is their rye. The Refuge is $69 and the Exploration is $79. But then you've got a Kentucky, the one that was left out with the what for $149, the what was it? The Meister. So that one, but you also have the Takami at 149. You got Confiscated at 129. And so I want to say that's 129. It looks no, actually Confiscated is 99.99. So we're looking at that's a price reduction. It's dropped to 99.99. Then you got actually Calumet 16. That's a damn good bottle. And then you got the 10. But here you got the Middle West, let's see, the Michelob, that's the Michelob, that's the Napolone, and it's basically a 5-year Middle West Spirits, and it is cast strength at 129. You got the Angels Envy finished rye at 76.99. You got the George Dickel Leopold collaboration at 106. You got Joseph Magnix at 99, Nashville Barrel Company, and you got Sinatra. Then you've got I don't even know what that Basil Hayden is over there, but and then you've got the two newest Woodford releases, and they're still sitting there. Those are allocated, my friends. That's nuts. And then you've got Whistle Pig, which I'm not a huge fan of, but there's a lot of people out there. And usually these Whistle Pigs, and you got a $10 savings on the 12-year, and you got the small batch rye on the 10, and the Whistle Pig 15, all available. Now you have all your barrels, Barrel Craft, the Barrel Seagrass, the Barrel Bourbon, 84. They're all 84, reasonably priced 84. The whole collection is back there. Now, here you got the Pursuit United. That's Kenny, and there's their bourbon. I don't think it's the Double Oak. I can't tell, but so then we come down here. You've got some Old Elk. You've got the Traverse City Whiskey Company, which is up in Traverse City, Michigan. The Barrel Proof rye, which is damn good, and that sits at 84. So you've got all that, and then you've got your Jefferson's Oceans, and you got the Reserve, and then you've got the Twin Oak. I mean, we are talking about like a level that's crazy for that. Now, let's get back to here. And there was also down here the old Granddad 12-year. But then we go into the case below. We've got a Bullet Bourbon bottled in bond, which is you've got Widow Jane Decadence, and then you've got the Bardstown and then collection along with Angels and Angels Envy. Barrel pick from the state, and you've got Heaven Hill grain to glass, two of the collection. And that's just like you're going, those are just all really good bottles that could be available for, you know, on any day. And I just that's nuts that those are there. But they're there. And we're going to talk about that. Now we've got Baker's 7, $59.99. Swear to God, Baker's has been $59.99 for the longest time. And that's the Baker 7. Let's see if I can see real quick. I'm not sure. I'm going to try and see if I can grab off the year. That's a 7-year, 2-month. Those are 7-year, 2 months off that from 16. That's not a bad. I've had 8 years too. And then you've got the half gallons of Sazerac rye. I mean, just sitting on the shelf. Now we come over here and they've added an extra shelf here at my Giant Eagle. So this shelf here, I got Towpath, which is local, and I got Watershed, which is local, which is fine. And then we've got Kentucky Vintage and Pure Kentucky in their little big long bottle. Now, oh my God, I wanted to go bigger. That's not, and I realized that's not how we're supposed to do it. All right, let's see. There it is. I'm supposed to magnify up here. That is $44.99 for Pure Kentucky, and $38.99 for Kentucky Vintage. The Watershed uncut, unfiltered, straight bourbon whiskey, limited release. You've got that one. And let's see, what is it? Uncut from filtered Watershed straight bourbon. And what are we looking at for? You're looking at $69.99 for uncut and unfiltered, and then you've got their normal Watershed brandy finish. And there we go for that. I mean, not, locally, that's normally the kind of stuff that's on the shelf. That's not a surprise. Then below it, locally, we talk about our sponsor, Middle West Bourbon, and they have it all. I mean, and if you're going to do this, all right, let's do that. Let's do that, and then we'll go like this, and we'll magnify up on this brand. They got the straight wheat whiskey, Michelob straight wheated bourbon whiskey, Michelob Reserve. Then you got the straight wheat whiskey, which is aged over 3 years, and that is not. But then you have the cast strength rye, dark pumpernickel rye, the cast strength straight wheat whiskey, and you've got the cast strength straight bourbon whiskey of the Michelob Reserve at $69.69. This wheated bourbon cast strength is phenomenal. I have it up there. It's right there. It's one of my favorite pours at the moment. So that's available for everybody in the United States, 48 states to walk in. So you're going to look for that. I suggest everybody look for that. But you also come down here and we've got, I mean, on this one, I've got, well, these are local. This is Whiskey War, which is down by where we're in Columbus. And then you've got Minglewood Bourbon also, which is out of Worcester, Ohio. But now they set up, but then they set up on me another one. So you've got the pot still right there, but it's really kind of cool what's on this one. You got the George Dickel Barrel Select. I don't even know what Tommy Rotter is. I don't. Old Bardstown, you got 2 versions of that. And then if you come down here, you got the Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Series. You got Origin Series, and then you got Origin Series and Origin Series. All 3 Origin Series right down there. Then you got Black Saddle, which I've never tried. But then you come down here, you've got Rebel Small Batch Reserve. You got the Garrison Brothers, Johnny Drum, and you've got this Blue Ash Farm. I mean, but then also one more down, I think it was Ben Holiday was the other. Let's see, is that the one? Yeah, you've got the Ben Holidays on on the bottom here. And when I talk about that, you got Ben Holiday soft red wheat, you got the Missouri Straight Bourbon bottled in bond, and then you've got Bear Flight Kentucky Reserve. So another, I mean, so that's what you got on these shelves. But then I go and I'm like, well, what do we got as far as everything on the main shelf? So here we go. First main shelf, you got the whole Boxer Grail, High Gold, Cave Hill, and whatever, and Derringer. And those four are all, you've got Rabbit Hole Boxer Grill, 44.99. You've got Rabbit Hole High Gold, 44.99. You've got Rabbit Hole, I want to say Cave Hill, 54.99, and you got the Derlinger $5 off, and it's 74. So it's all been discounted. So Rabbit Hole, which Cave Hill is one of my favorite, that is really kind of special. And then below that, you got let's just see what else other things I can highlight. We're going to go into. Um, we'll move over. So this one, you got the whole Green River on the shelf right here. You got an old elk, another old elk. You had the ones behind the thing, and you got the old elk blended straight bourbon whiskey. You got Green River wheated, you got Green River Kentucky bourbon, you got their rye, and then you also have the Green River. Let's see what we got going here. I want to say it's a. I've got to get over there. You got the foolproof right there, the Green River foolproof at $54.99. But Green River is affordable at $34.99, and that wheated bourbon is very good. So that's what you got on the shelf there. Plus, you have, this is the one few things that was missing, is you have that old Forester right there. You got 1870, and you're missing 1897 and 1910 with 1920 and Statesman. So Old Forester was missing a little bit. So that was good. But then look at this. This is all, I'm going to get crazy now. You've got the Widow Jane, you got Yellowstone, that's fine. But the Applewood and the aged and the 10-year Widow Jane, plus next to Blade and Bow. So so far for Widow Jane, you have the Widow Jane 10-year, the Applewood, and the Decadence, and that's all out. That was all allocated a long time ago. And it's all really good actually. Even now, since Lisa left, it's still a damn good bourbon. But then you've got the full line, subtle smoke, dark rye, toast, and malted rye, Basil Hayden plus Basil Hayden on the. I mean, you're just like, they're all there. It's all full out stock. Then the Copper and Kings bourbon, I've never tried that. I saw that. Then we've got the Cincinnati Distilling Company here, which had their stuff out. But then I've got the Willet Rye. I believe this is the 6-year rye, which I'm not a fan of, but there's a lot of people who love that. And then they're straight rye. Plus, then you've got Rowan's Creek, I believe, and Noah's Mill. I mean, this is insane what's on the shelf. It's all on the shelf. Then you got rare breed rye and barrel proof. You know, you got both rare breed wild turkeys. You got the rye and the bourbon. Then you got Noah's Mill and what was it? Creek. You know, you got all this, all the Michters. You got the sour mash and the rye and the bourbon. You got the Peerless and the Smooth Ambler. I mean, Peerless bourbon, that wasn't always on the shelf, but it's there now. The full Smoke Wagon collection. I mean, if you're a Smoke Wagon guy, you got the malted barley, you've got the batch bourbon, you got the uncut the young, you've got this one, which was the Christmas one, and it's $29.95. And then you've got Smoke Wagon, unfiltered bourbon, and you got the IW Harper cask finish, which isn't as good as the 15, but it's not a bad pour. All the horse soldiers, you still have Traveler, which is always, but Traveler dropped $5. I was surprised. I saw it at $34.99. Damn good pour. You've got Four Roses, and we're gonna talk about that in a sec. The Four Roses here. You've got the Four Roses small batch select, the Four Roses small batch, and the single barrel, plus their main Four Roses. So that's that small batch select right here sometimes isn't readily available. Neither is always the single barrel. So that's really kind of cool to have there. We were talking about Traveler's price drop, and it dropped to $34.99. It came out at $39.99. So kind of cool. Now, this is the other one. I took a picture. That was Smoke Wagon, but then now we have Buzzard's Roost, OKI, and Full Out Penelope. That was wine cask finish, barrel proof, the Architect, and the regular. I think that's French oak. I think it is. I want to say, nope, straight bourbon whiskey, 4 grain. So that's there. Plus the OKIs, the rye and the bourbon, and then you got the Buzzard's Roost, straight bourbon whiskey. That's Char 1. And then let's see, there was one bourbon, bottled in bond, and toasted French oak. That's not a bad Buzzard's Roost collection there. Then the Remus is out. You got that going. The Russell's Reserve, nothing, there. But, the Jim Beam's, well, and then here's another Heaven's Door, just Revival put in the corner. That's 54. Then you got Old Pepper, which is a damn good bourbon, stacked away. You got the Jim Beam 7-year stocked. All Jim Beam was stocked. Devil's Cut. There was 7 years. There was Double Oak. I mean, it was stocked, and that's one of my favorite. And then as far as Bullet goes, you had the Bullet 10-year, and then also the Frontier Bourbon. And those are two of my favorites. I mean, this was crazy. You had the James E. Pepper, 1776. You had, here we go. Let's just see. James E. Pepper Special Bottle, the Sazerac Rye, Rittenback Rye. These are all certain ones that weren't always readily available. 1792 Full Proof. That's not always, or 1792 small batch isn't always on the shelf. You got more Jeffersons. Then you have your Evan Williams. But even today, when I was there, this was surprising to me what was there and hasn't been for a while. I believe, is it? Well, that's the Wild Turkey. There it is. Down here, Ancient Age. It's limit 1. But they're there. You had the half gallon and the regular, $24.99, plus the full benchmark, small batch, top floor, foolproof. All of it was there. And then you also had your Wild Turkey 101, which is usually Wild Turkey hasn't had a problem getting that on there. And then I would say George Dickel Bourbon was out there. There was some more Basil Hayden malted, but this one right here was the one that got me while I was there. It was one of the last things. This is for $59.99. This was the Highwayman, which sat American Highway Reserve, which is a Bardstown thing, and it sat at $99.99. Saved $40, and I had to get it. I got one. I've been always wanting it, but $100 was too much. $59.99 is not too much, so I picked that up. And then, but last but not least on this, as I was walking out, I had to take another picture. But they had both Toasted Barrel, and they had the Toasted Barrel, and they had the Barrel Proof. So Barrel Proof Elijah Craig and Toasted Barrel both on the shelf. I mean, we're talking. I went through this, and we're going through all this, and it's good. So for Andrew, you ever try? There was Frey Ranch too. I did not try Fent. Drinking Buffalo Trace tonight with some. Hi, Andrew. That's cool. Randy Ford, you welcome to Bottom Shelf. All right. Todd Creed. Heck yeah. All right. So Rowan's Creek. Thank you, Randy. But really kind of we're out there. I'll get back onto some of these questions. Jefferson's Oceans is post. Okay, get that off. Okay. Randy's 20. Thank you for that. Anyways, so we're back. I'm back on the stop sharing and whatnot. And I just want to say that selection that's there. Anybody who's complaining anymore about people hitting stuff on secondary and not being able to get what they want, just a few months ago, you couldn't get toasted Elijah Craig or barrel strength Elijah Craig just sitting on the shelf. There's so much out there. There is still some allocated that we want, but the ancient age that hasn't been on the shelf. Neither have the benchmarks. Those benchmarks are phenomenal. Some of the single barrel benchmarks, single barrel benchmark is just as good as the Taylor single barrels. I've had actual one better than the Taylor single barrel. So it's really kind of cool what's out there and how much you could buy. I wish I was richer. I can't afford to buy everything, but tonight, if I had an endless supply of money, I would have picked up the bottles that I would have picked up. Let's see. Just going through, I would have picked up a Cave Hill Rabbit Hole, discounted $5. And then I would have behind that Remus. I like those Remuses. I would have looked at those Remuses and then the special ones. And then what was in the cabinet? There was something in the cabinet I would have grabbed. I have to think about that. Oh, the Decadence, Widow Jane Decadence. I would have picked that up. What else? I picked up the Highwayman. But when I'm looking, I would thinking that also, I mean, what would you guys have picked up in there? There was so many different. I probably would have picked up one of the Basil that malted. I've never tried yet from the Basil Hayden. There was one other one that I probably would have picked up. Oh, that I would have picked up the I believe it's the pick from Ohio, the Bullet. I want to say 10-year that was in the shelf. I would have probably picked that up. There was a couple more. Oh, I would have picked up both those Woodford special. If those are just that's if I had amount of money. Yeah, and then there was also what was the other one? There was one other one that was just standing out to me that I really wanted. Oh, it was on those shelves, and I would consider the pure Kentucky. I don't mind that, but on the shelf, which one was it? The Ben Holidays. I would have picked up those. I haven't picked those up yet and had that. So I mean, there's so much in and on the shelf. I mean, the Penelopes, the smoke wagons, the buzzard roost, those are just all readily available. Those used to be allocated. People used to go crazy for them. Uh, the other ones that were there, I'm just trying to think of just one other one that would have there was one other one. Let me see. I got to remember what it was. Here it is. It was up here. All right. I want to say oh, the Heaven Hill grain to glass would have been one. And then I would have picked up for sure the Sinatra on the top shelf over there, that was there. There was also a Middle West up there that I wanted. I have the Kentucky. I would have picked up the Kentucky Owl confiscated at $99.99. What else? There was one. Oh, the Calumet 16. That's definitely something that you would want, but uh, uh, we're just looking. I think that's it. I mean, oh, the Old Forester Statesman. Oh, I would have picked up the Green River Weeded instantly, and then also the uncut one. So those are the ones that I would have picked up. That was just a really kind of a really cool, what would you say? It was a cool experience. It's so exciting. Everybody talks about the whiskey glut and everything, and that that's going to slow down and everything, and it's not, and the boom is still here. I'm here to tell you from consumers like ourselves and the people listening to the podcast. Red wheat are excellent. Yes, Drew says the Ben holidays are good, but I'm going to say from the podcast standpoint of who our market is, these shelf bourbons and that they're on the shelf is amazing, but they're rising up to meet the demand, which everybody has is going to have a lot. So they're going to be on the shelf. And at one point, it's going to benefit us. The price is going to come down because they have to be more competitive for that. Hey, I'm not biting my tongue at all, Super Nash. I'm telling you, you got me a single barrel of E.H. Taylor, single barrel. It took me 3 years to drink it. It was oaky. It wasn't that great. And you got me a single barrel benchmark. And I drank it in 2 weeks and it was better. I compared it. It was better by far. I'm just going to say that. So, anyways, um, I'm not saying benchmark is better than EH Taylor just straight up. It was just on this. I had a better single barrel off that. It's the same barrels, just a little bit younger. So they say they're the supreme barrel pick, that they pick for the benchmark. And then they say the same thing for the Taylor. It's just the supreme ones that are 7 years instead of the ones that are 4, 5, and 6 years. So that's kind of how that works. All right. So we've got Sweetens Cove. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. This Sweetens Cove 22. It's a fine bottle. It's Sweetens Cove, Tennessee. Uh, it's blended straight bourbon whiskey finished in Speyside Scotch casks. Really kind of cool. Yeah, it destroys the Blantons too. That's what Drew was saying. Why this brand? Okay, anyways. Of course, as Billy Bob Thornton says to Thurman, they all can't be winners, kid. Anyways, on his which call it, my best friend Diesel, my Labrador, going into a great night. Okay, Tomo is on. All right. Remember to double tap the screen, people. 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. in the UK. That's what Tomo. So we got someone on from the UK tonight at 2:12 a.m. I can't believe it that I all of a sudden am going to a barrel pick and I just remembered it. And Stacy reminded me of it. All right. So what we're gonna do is this is the let me give you a little bit more. Let me see if I can actually. I'll grab this and get this and hit this and do that. I can keep that on, I think. Oh, did I? No, I didn't set it up for tapping. All right. Turn it on. All right. So what we got here is we are inspired every day by the lore of Scotland and all that is Sweetens Cove from our links to our drinks. Volunteer to share a special blend from Marianne Eaves, Sweetens Cove Spirits.com. It's got this thing that says an ode to a land far away, a wonderful sip and our hat we do tip. And then it says, "We thank thee, we toast thee, swing and swig." Sometimes they're swing and swig, sometimes three from Scotland to Tennessee. So that's what's on there. This is a blend by Marianne Eaves. This is co-owned by her and Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning's brother. They basically, the Sweetens Cove brand got started. Randy was telling me right here that there's a coin with a magnet up here. I what's our magnet coin purpose? I'll take a look at it again. I'm gonna try this and see. It's really kind of cool. And it's got a little magnet with a little magnet top. This topper is pretty damn cool too. So that it's wood. The bottle's reasonably priced because Randy got it for us. Had the ones that were damn near drain. No, yeah. So I'm going back to, let's go back to the YouTube, and we got that there. Yeah, it would be cool if other people were talking on the YouTube. I agree. I'm talking. Randy. Um so it's a collaboration. Marianne Eaves does the blending. She started off the first couple bottles. It was expensive for me, but it was good it was good whiskey. It was they call it can Tennessee or can it was a Tennessee whiskey, Kentucky Tennessee blend. But this one is Tennessee, and it's put in space, it's aged and then put in space side barrels. Now I've opened it, and let's get into this. Is going to be the old Louisville Whiskey Company sponsored barrel banging segment of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You just got to go down. You got to get, if you're in the Louisville area or if you're on the Bourbon Trail, you got to stop off at the old Louisville Whiskey Company. Amin's got it going there. He knows what he's doing. He's got barrels, like I said before in the opening. It's like a mad scientist. He's double oaking them. He's buying new French oak barrels. He buys old ones. He's got 17-year-old whiskey, 16.8. What he's just got some damn good whiskey, and the barrels that he picks are really, really good. So if you get a chance to get there, make sure you tell him that Tiny and the Scotchy Bourbon Boys sent you over and you had to try, because the experience is like none other. He takes you back and you're going to walk out with a bottle that you like, and I know it. So make sure you check out Amin at the old Louisville Whiskey Company. All right. This is our barrel banging session. Our barrel banging session rating system is based off of 4 categories: nose, body, taste, finish. On those 4 categories, we have evolved the rating system based off of banging on a barrel. And when we give bangs, that's what we do. So on the nose, you can give up to 4 bangs. On the body, you can give up to 4 bangs. But on the taste, you can give up to 5 bangs. And also on the finish, 5 bangs for a total of 18. But if one is exceptionally good, you can give it a butt up. And that is a perfect score of 19 of 18. So that is our barrel banging segment. Gonna start it off. It's Sweetens Cove 22. So let's get at this. Now, I'm excited. Tennessee whiskey finished in a Scotch barrel, a space side Scotch barrel, which is supposed to be very, very smoky. But when you talk about a used barrel, this is going to be really, really interesting. A lot of Scotches use bourbon barrels to age their Scotch in. The smokiness of the peatiness is based off of the whiskey itself. It doesn't pick that up from the barrel. But you put scotch in it, and there's a peaty scotch from Speyside, and then you stick it in the used barrel, you're going to pick up some of it, but it's going to be subtle, in my opinion. I'm really excited to try this. Marianne really knows what she's doing. It's cool that she's at Sweetens Cove. And I believe, let me just see, I could be wrong, but I do believe that also she has her own brand as Forbidden, Unforbidden. No, just Forbidden. I like to say Unforbidden. Here is a Marianne Eaves bottle of Forbidden, signed courtesy of Walker. Wish Walker was here, but he wasn't able to make it tonight. And then, so I got that there. But also, Marianne had done a tour, and I have another bottle from Watershed. She did a blending at Watershed and produced a very, very fine bottle of whiskey. So I'm a fan of Marianne's and of Sweeten Cove, but I'm excited for this. So let's nose this. I am so excited. The nose is one of the fullest, most approachable noses that I've ever experienced. Oh, wow. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to say caramel, light fruit with a, what is that? There's a smokiness to it, but is it bacon? There's a bacon smokiness to it. This is actually delicious. Yeah. Caramel, a little bit of fruitiness, apple, and some bacon. All right. Now, in the glass, it's doing a nice job. I don't think I overfilled it. I didn't. If I just roll it there, we're going to see what it does. Oh, do I have a really good Scotchy Bourbon Boy glass? Yes. And this is a little bit beat up. So I'm going to put it in the Scotchy Bourbon Boys glass because this was in the glass first. I put it in there a while ago. And let's see about the Scotchy. Yeah, here we go. Roll it in the glass for the first time. We will roll that baby around. There, yeah, the three. God darn it. I got a little bit excited there. I wish I didn't. So there's a little bit of bourbon on. I used to have a towel, and I don't think I do anymore. Where would that be? Nope, no more towel. All right. Anyways, are we recording? Yes, we are. All right. So in the glass, it sticks beautifully. How long are those? There they go. The viscosity of this is insane. All right, so this is I want it says 114 proof, 57 ABV. That is surprising because you don't get a lot of scotches. This does a nice thing in the glass. Nice legs. They are thick and long after that. Anyways, so smell. There's a ton of stuff going on with that. The hug, phenomenal. This is for 114. All right. I got that. This is scoring points. It's the best thing I've tasted from Marianne yet. It really is. Now, it's complex. 114 proof. Not a lot of scotches are 114 proof. So the scotch in here, the Tennessee whiskey in here, I kind of know what it is right away when it comes to what this is. But the scotch, I can taste the brand. The peat is a char. It doesn't go past char level because of there's an aspect of caramel corn on the finish. Wow. That is pretty fit. That's a surprise. That is fantastic. Like I said, I think that's the best thing Marianne's ever done. Hey, Walker. It's good. Cheers, my friend. Do you have any Sweetens Cove 22? Sit down and give a pour. That's for sure. Glad you could join us. Let's see. We've got I can only speak English just by saying hello. Thanks you. I'm looking at it from Japan. Name is Hanada. I'm weak, but I love scotch and bourbon. Nice to meet you, Hanada, and thank you for saying hi from Japan. So tonight we're in the UK, Japan. This is really kind of cool. I'm enjoying it. This Sweetens Cove, it's okay. So we're gonna have to rate it. There's never been a Tennessee shit. Peyton Manning and Marianne, guys, wow. I don't even know what to say. I think you've taken that Tennessee whiskey and you kept it Tennessee whiskey, but you improved it so much that there's aspects that are there, and then the Tennessee whiskey is, I mean, you've isolated it on one part of your palate, and then it goes back to all these other things. On the nose, I'm gonna have to give this. I love the nose. I love the bacon, caramel. I should put that. I need to read you guys' comments. Uh the barrel bashings. Oh, that's good. Now then I don't have to have that up, Drew. But I'm not a big scotch, so I'm probably way off. Sounds no, Drew. This isn't like a scotch. It has a scotch accent, but the Tennessee whiskey flavors are all there. It never goes to the space side because space side whiskey barrels are very peat. Whiskeys are very peat, are known for their peat. So I would say it's unbelievable what the mix does. It's like taking a Tennessee well-known bourbon and freaking fine tuning it to be spectacular. Like, I don't think most Tennessee bourbons for me are ever spectacular. There's some Jack Daniels barrel proof I like and some, but I don't think the Tennessee George Dickel does not usually. It's okay. I'm not ripping on it. It's okay, but a Kentucky bourbon usually for me does it, but this takes me to a different level at 114 proof. And I haven't had that much and it's buzzing me. It's crazy. It's the most complex. It's one of the most complex whiskeys I've ever dealt with the complexity. Sometimes it's subtle complexities. These are full flavored complexities. Like everything's popping in at different times at full flavor. So that is so unique and it's very delicious. Corn, caramel corn, George Dickel, then a little bit of the char comes out of I'm just it's not no more like a scotch than the old 117 Scotch. I didn't try that, Randy, but this impressed me. This is a level there's very few whiskeys this because it just takes the essence of the Tennessee whiskey and then bounces and mixes the Scotch aspect, which has a little bit of bacon towards it on the char or the peat. It's like it almost is like a burnt piece of bacon, and then it does a thing where it improves the whole whiskey as itself. So I'm impressed. So yeah, I agree. The 117 series are excellent. I have a fantastic bottle right behind me that I just love. I have not cash, but it's probably got a couple more pours. All right, so we're gonna barrel bash this. Barrel bang. Sorry, barrel bang. The barrel banging is about to begin. The nose, I think this is a very strong point of it. I really love it. There's caramel, a little bit of a fruity, maybe an apple, combination of an apple or pear in between. And then a bacon smoky flavor. I have to give it a 4. 4 barrel bangs. So we got 4. I mean, was not expecting this, folks. Now, the body. The only thing it coats the whole mouth, the tongue, just doesn't hit the cheeks. At 114, you'd hope it would, but I think the smoke, it wants to go out there, but then that smoky flavor just keeps pulling you back in, which is fantastic. It's fantastic legs in this in the glass, but I still have to give it a 3. So we got 7 of 8 barrel bangs, but this is where this goes nuts. Now I let that sit for 15 minutes. I love this topper. Beautiful bottle. The presentation. For this, the price $72 was it? Missed. I think he had me round up something. I don't know. With shipping, I think I paid. But it's a very enjoyable pour. Should I go grab a bottle of the Tennessee by Sweetens Cove? So the Tennessee I thought was good, but very pricey. So it's not this. The Tennessee, this is in this was Randy, I believe. Okay, Randy gives it a 4 on body. I just didn't hit the cheeks, Randy. I love it, but anyways, but that's everybody's rating system is their own. But you have to admit, were you 78 with tax is what Randy. It's just the nose is spectacular. So I hope that because I opened that bottle, the smokiness it doesn't do what a scotch does and becomes more smoky because the smoke is perfect. This is like a introduction to scotch. If someone wanted to introduce someone to scotch, I would do this in a second. I'd be like, "Oh, you got to do Sweetens Cove." It takes you off it's still bourbon or Tennessee whiskey or that corny flavor, but it just has enough perfect char. It doesn't go over the top. And it tastes like bacon. I feel like I'm eating bacon on I ate a piece of bacon and the freaking finish just never stops. I think I could yeah, that's one. All right, for the taste, all right. So, if I have to go with what I love this. I love the complexity. It's really good. But the char aspect of it pulls in a little bit of bitter, just a little. And I like sweet. So the Sweetens Cove, Tennessee. Which one was like 100 and weren't they like 149.99 to come out? That's what I thought. I had no idea. I didn't know the price of this brand, but I thought it was very expensive. Anyways, so love it. I love the taste. It just has in a taste, it's just a little too to get a 5, but this is a 4 for me as far as taste. So I give it 4 bangs. Now, he does 3 plus. So we're right at the exact same place here. Um 4, you could give it up to 5 as the total. Remember that, Randy. So it gets 4 out of 5. If you're giving it 3 out of 4, I'm giving it 4 out of 5. Um, but the finish never stops. Starts out, pick up that bacon, a little char, and then stuff happens. Corn, caramel corn. Oh, Drew, um, Jack Daniels, the triple mash is insane. I had the bond, but the triple mash is just crazy. It's one of my favorite all-time Jack Daniels there. So, but on the Sweeten Cove 22, it's a completely different. This is worth every single penny that I spent, or Randy helped me spend. Um, okay, comparing it to the Tennessee. All right, so we do the so this is the part right now. I am sitting at a total of possibility right now. I could have given this the total is 13 possible, and right now I'm sitting at 11. I gave a 3, a 4, and a 4. The finish is unlike anything I ever had. It's still going. Right now it's a little caramely. All the witch caught. I taste it. I taste some bacon. I taste a little bit of the apple. The apple's nowhere until the finish late. Uh, it's one of the most unique finishes I've ever had. True. All right. I'll go on the barrel banging rating system of I'm going to give this finish a 5. And I'm also going to give it a butt up. Butt up. So I rate and the Scotchy Bourbon Boys rating for Sweetens Cove 22. Not expecting this at all, but it gets a 17 out of 18. The finish, Marianne, you owned it. Not many things finish like this. Randy gives it a 4. I gave it a 6. I am impressed with this whiskey. The finish is. I'm still. It's 2-3 minutes since I sipped the last one, and it's All right. So that was Sweetens Cove. remember what's really cool. Maybe look forward to. I'm going to be on a Woodford Reserve double oak barrel pick tomorrow. So hopefully I can put some social media out for that. So I didn't know I was going to Kentucky till right now. And I got to leave early. So I'm going to kind of finish this up for the podcast. Everybody, also, I'm coming. Thank you. Thank you, Tomo, for being. I try and be the worst influence I possibly could, and yes, I'm glad that everybody that's here is joined us tonight. Thank you. But I'm gonna end this right now on the regular podcast. So, thanks everybody for being here, and I'm gonna get this queued up. No, actually, I don't have to get it queued up. I just hit stop recording because we are in a semi legal battle with BM Records as far as what Little Steve-O did. I'm hoping to win and be able to put it back up, but I'm not going to have them keep reaching out and taking money that I should be getting. So, thanks for joining us. Remember, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. I'm Tiny. www.scotchybourbonboys for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys, like Glen Cairns t-shirts. Contact me. You can buy it through the website. I monitor that, or you can get a hold of me. Then also, uh, just remember, we're on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, hopefully TikTok soon. Also on all the podcast formats, Apple, iHeart, Spotify, and anything else you can think of to listen or watch us. But remember, whatever way you do, you make sure you like, listen, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. Now, remember, Thursday, we've got Alan Bishop coming. Next Tuesday, a week from now, we also have Walter Zausch, owner of Whiskey Thief, coming on. And hopefully he can bring guests. We'll see. And Alan Bishop, Thursday night, we're going to talk a little bit about he's our sponsor. We'll talk about all the sponsor stuff and then also find out what he's doing. I will be going down there and seeing him soon, I believe that Friday. But it's so funny that I'm so excited to be able to go to Kentucky tomorrow morning. So I got to get this going. And remember, good bourbon equals good times and good friends. Remember, don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, and remember to live your life uncut and unfiltered. And I'm going to just stop it. Good night, everybody. All right, I'm still here on Facebook and YouTube. Let me get this saving. I'll stay for a couple more minutes. I appreciate it. Also, gotta just dump on, just improves voice quality and that. Another good, I hope it was another good to see you, Walker. Drink responsibly, don't drink and drive. Go out and live your life uncut and unfiltered. Yes, that's exactly what it is. But yeah, Randy, how did you rate that finish a 4 out of 5? I'm gonna sit here and say I thought it was a 5 plus a but up because I don't get that many finishes. Let me start file publish 2 for uploading. All right, Sweetens Cove. I'm just Cove. Sketchy Bourbon, save. All right, so I'm saving that audio. I think this is the best thing I've ever tasted Marianne do. It's not even. I mean, I like her Forbidden, and thank you for that, Walker. Super Nash tune. Yes, cheers. Yes, Super Nash is on his way back from a job, and we're doing that. We're doing that. Everybody, yeah, thank you. I have no idea what was YouTube because I wasn't able to watch it tonight. I'm very proud of myself. So there's two things I did tonight. Here it is. Watch. I finally figured out how to fill my lighters for my cigars. So, and then Nash, I'm going to tell you. Look at that. There you go. That lighter worked. And then I'm going to tell you, Super Nash. Let's see. What am I off? I'm off the audio, so I can take this baby off and turn it off. All right, I'm off that, and I'm off that. But you guys can still hear me on Facebook and YouTube. Well, let me see if I can find. It should be right around here. What did I do with it? Did I put it down here? No. Oh, there it is. So watch this, Super Nash. Yep, good job. But you're not back. So look at this. I got it at 67. Let's see if I can get it to show. I got it at 67, which is finally the right thing. But watch this. This is the coolest part. I finally learned how to light these lighters. There you go. Same thing there. I got it full. So both lighters are working properly. So Nash, March 7th, it's on. And then I was so excited about that. Where should I put that? All right. So, it's worth opening, Nash. Make sure that you open it when you should have a pour of Sweetens Cove 22. Do you know, Randy, how much Peyton's still involved? Is Peyton and Cooper? I think it's Cooper, right? His brother are involved with it. I'm not sure. I just was wondering. All right, so everybody, I'm going to end YouTube real quick. And thank you for coming on tonight. I really appreciate everybody on YouTube and all. I mean, we're talking international. You guys were great. I hope that we gave you a little insight to what happens here in America, but also this spectacular Sweetens Cove 22. If you can get it, I don't care where you are, it is worth what it costs. So good night, everybody on YouTube. I'm going to end that. And here we go.